it's making me make a lot of healthy choices.
Mm-hmm.
you
Yeah,
know?
they compound. Yeah.
And I hate it.
Oh,
I don't want to. It's like I have to. I'm just like, I'm turning into that guy.
Is it possible? Is it possible to improve on perfection? Man's dead.
Welcome to the Dueling Beardos Comedy Podcast.
Right now, I'm just feeling a lack of confidence in my comedy and everything. I feel like I have the comedy yips. Do you know what the yips are in
No.
in golf?
No, I don't.
It's I don't know like the exact definition of what the yips are, but basically it's like this. They had it. People can have it in baseball too. It's like an old school thing. It's when somebody who's really good at something, or like a professional baseball player, or it's over analyzing too much information.
Yes.
It's like you know so much that you can't get out of your own way.
Yeah.
And just do the thing. And then because of that, you're missing. So like in golf, you start missing putts, and then you over practice
Okay.
putting.
Yeah.
And then you get too analytical about, like, you're breaking it down. You're like, oh, it's a misread, or like this thing. And it's just like this weird downward spiral where you actually start getting worse because you're thinking about it too much. It's overthinking is what it is. And you just keep thinking about it and trying to think your way through a physical thing.
Yeah.
When really,
Yeah.
all you got to do is just hit the fucking ball. That's it.
Right.
Just trust in your training and hit the ball.
Yeah.
But that is so hard when you're in this place of like, and I've just been feeling like that a lot lately with regards to comedy, podcasting, all of it. I'm doing it, and what I need to do is let go. And I think a lot of it has to do with drinking really helped me get out of my own way.
Yeah.
And
good.
Now that I've taken drinking out of my life, and I've been sober now for almost a month, which is crazy. Thank you.
Yeah, that's great.
It was the last drink I had was at the Janet Jackson concert.
Yeah, nice.
And Ludacris. And literally, I wasn't gonna drink that day, but then they messed up opening the drink for my partner, Paul.
Yeah.
And so they like opened it, but it like ripped the tab off.
Yeah.
So there was just like a little hole in the top, and they were like, well, we can't sell this. So they just gave it to him.
Yeah.
So then he had 2 drinks, and he was like, I feel weird about this. And then I'm a clever boy.
You're a team player.
I was like, I guess I am going to drink tonight.
Yeah.
Because I found out that I couldn't drink, and I was just like, well, it's because of the medication that I'm on. I can't drink.
Yeah.
And so because it's dangerous or whatever. And, and so it was like, well, I guess I'll start medication tomorrow.
Yeah, totally.
Medication starts tomorrow. Anyways, so I was like, all right. So I got a straw, and I like put it in the hole in the beer.
Oh yeah, you not
or
only
cider.
drank it, but yeah.
And then I
straw drinking.
Yeah, like because they had just ripped the middle. Anyways, I don't know, long story, but it's about booze really helped me get out of my own way.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, not sure what to do.
Yeah. Which is good because something's going to come of it that you're going to find and learn that's going to work for you.
Yeah.
But it sucks that it doesn't happen right away. But
yeah.
But yeah, I stopped drinking, which I'm happy about. And it took an adjustment to stop being irritable in life, and then also getting used to what that's like on stage too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because for a long time, I would stop drinking before I went on stage because I wanted to. I didn't want to mumble through any words or mispronounce any words because I just wasn't as sharp as I could be, and I eventually got used to it. But it takes a while, I think.
I know.
Yeah.
You know what got what got me, because when I first started doing comedy, I couldn't. If I had one drink, I would just be a complete disaster just on stage. I would just I'd stumble my words. I'd get nervous. I'd
Yeah.
get so nervous and just like I wouldn't even be making sense. It would just be like, and it happened a couple times. I was like, all right, no drinking. I would only drink after I did a set. I'd always drink
Yeah.
afterward because I still was into drinking or whatever. I was still a drunkard. No,
It's still a fun social thing to do.
yeah. And you know what? The different, and then I got sober. I got totally clean for like 4 or 5 years,
Wow,
and
yeah.
then I decided to then I started drinking again because I sort of lost my reasons why I stopped, and I felt like I had a really good handle on it. And then it was not to place blame, but it definitely was our open mic that we used to do, where we had a $20 bar tab during happy hour, and they would like barely charge us for anything they would barely ring up anything that we were ordering, and
the DACs were so good.
And the DACs were DACs on DACs, dude.
Oh,
the daiquiris.
stacks the DAC.
Yeah, and it was late, and it really helped just have a good time, and we could really get the party going and of the show, and just hosting that show and just getting sloppy drunk was so fun.
Yeah.
And it was when I tried to stop drinking in 2020, and then that show was such work to do sober.
Yeah.
And most of the alternatives are uppers, and I'm just like, and then I get anxious, and it's not like, you know.
Yeah, I was trying to get a replacement going for a little bit. I heard about Kava, which is some kind of like alternative, but I never investigated it, and I'm fine now. I'm not gonna investigate it, but
I bought some. I've
cool.
just gone full self-care. I'm like working out. I'm like doing all the stuff. It's really weird because it's like I'm doing all these healthy choices. It's making me make a lot of healthy choices.
Yeah,
know?
they compound.
And I hate it. I don't want to. It's like I have to. I'm just like, I'm turning into that guy.
Yeah.
Paul was making fun of all my self-care bullshit that I was doing last night. You know, I'm like meditating and like I'm doing all of, because it's just like I can't just like replace one substance with another substance. It's just that seems like not like a good idea too. And it's been a real struggle for me. And just I do feel like I have this. I don't know. I think it's time.
Yeah.
And just kind of still doing stuff or doing stuff shittier for a little while and not being good, but I can't shut my brain off and get out of my own way.
Yeah.
Like I think about when I was back in the day when I was into like snowboarding, and I remember learning to do backflips on my snowboard.
Jeez,
and I remember
the
the way that I would it was either me or my friend, I don't know, it's so long ago, and memory is weird that way.
Yeah.
Can't remember if it was me or him that would just say, clear your mind, don't think about anything, just landing. That's all that's in your head, and putting just the idea of landing in your head.
Cool.
Of just like throwing your head straight back, and you had to clear your mind, you had to quiet those voices of reason. and throw yourself into the air. And like if I could quiet my mind and get myself out of my own way, and I was able to do that, you know, I would just stop thinking about all of the alternatives of things. And I feel like with age is another piece, is that it's like I guess is that trauma that I have, where it's like things, it's like little things where it's like I stop at the end of traffic, and then I get really nervous and uncomfortable because one time that happened and I got rear-ended and totaled my car.
Yeah. Well,
you know?
Okay, that's trauma. Yeah.
So when I stop at like a stoplight that's like on a highway where people are going like 45, 50, and I'm at the back of that, I just sit there and tap my brake because I'm so scared that somebody's going to just like plow into me.
I've done that too. You want to give them as much of a heads up as
possible.
possible.
And you see them back there just braking, and it's just like, oh boy, here we go. And I get scared. And it's like, as a kid, I never looked in my mirror the whole time I was sitting at a stoplight. Like, you know, I wish I could just forget some of that stuff. I mean, I guess it keeps me safe.
Yeah. The more you drive, though, would you say like the less it would happen?
But why is it that happened one time?
Yeah. Well,
I've driven way more than that.
Yeah.
I've had it not happen a lot more.
Yeah.
You know, than that one time, but yet I just focus on that.
Well, yeah, that's alarming. You may or may not have been injured. it's a disarm. It's a sudden disruptive experience. So
Yeah.
and also, so besides the trauma, I think there's also the getting older and wiser thing. Like I feel like this is true for me, for my wife, and some people we know, where it takes a health scare to really get your shit together going into later decades. Like when you're 20, you'll be out at a party you don't want to be to, and you'll be drinking too much. And then it's like, well, you just deal with it, and you can recover like a superhero. But now it's like, oh, I can't do things that I took for granted. I had to have a health scare. Like I was trying to prevent heart disease that runs in my family from happening to me, and I went like full vegan, didn't even eat avocados or nuts. And my wife took a picture of me, and she's like, look how frail you look. You need to change your diet. And I did, but that was an iteration that I took on. It didn't work. Like you're saying, you're doing all these self-care things. Maybe some of them are going to become ones that you don't get anything out of or value, but you're going to refine it and come up with a few really helpful ones. Like we have now done it's not like a plant-based avocado
what
diet,
would be,
but
let's make it the podcast. What would be your top 3 self-care things that have worked for you?
okay, I love this because I already have it in mind.
Okay.
So
Number 1.
SAD, the winter months are dark, and I have seasonal affective disorder. So number 1 is lying on the floor, listening to raga music, Indian music, like Ravi Shankar and
Naked
his daughter.
on the floor?
No.
Are you torn?
Yeah, I'm torn. No, I'm talking about raga music, like Indian music with a sitar and tabla, I think is the drum. That music is so centering and relaxing.
Chinese, what are those called?
Finger cymbals?
Finger cymbals.
No, they're not in there. It's just
Wow.
usually a duo.
Wow.
Yeah.
You, I could have just said what they are, and I was like, chimey by me.
Chime me by me say. Oh, I know what you're talking about. and-
Ding-a-lings.
Yeah. I prefer to use the layman term of finger cymbals, not
You know the
chimey
thing that's like a
whimies.
cymbal, but it goes on your finger?
Yeah, yeah.
What do you call that?
Oh, tit clappers. No, that's not it.
TikTokers.
Yeah.
Tick clappers. I totally derailed you.
Yeah, no, lie on the
Okay.
floor, listen to raga music, and if you have a happy light, one of those therapy lights, that's
Okay.
helpful too. Yeah. So
Number
that's one.
The
Nature
Natalie, we'll call
walks.
it the Imbergula.
Whoa, what's that? Oh, Natalie
Imbruglia.
Imbruglia. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, nothing's free. I'm torn.
Oh my god! I see. I don't know any of the lyrics to that song, so I'm like an improv team member who wants to jump into the scene,
really
but you're like,
wants
I have no idea what's going on. I'm just
going on.
making love to this back wall right now.
Yeah,
And that's our show. I'm like, but I'm still against the wall. Should I go out for the bow, or would that be weird? Yeah.
Should I go out for the power? Would that be weird? I love
God, yeah.
that. Okay. Oh
yeah.
my God. Sorry.
Nature walks,
Number
forest.
2. Nature walks. Get
Yeah.
out in nature.
Yeah.
Outside. Walk the dog.
Yeah, or just by yourself, but look up at the trees
I
and
think
let
there's-
raindrops hit your face.
I
and-
think that a key to that is by yourself,
oh yeah.
alone.
I thought you were gonna say change of
Not
environment,
with, I
but
mean,
yeah,
maybe with
by
your
yourself.
dog, but
Yeah.
outside, alone. I
Mhm.
think alone
Yeah.
is a key to that statement. To me, in my
I think so too, because I don't know. It's weird though, because part of the overthinking is you being trapped in your head, me being trapped in my head, and so you'd think bringing someone else along with you would help, but it actually puts me more in my head if there's people, wanting to talk about one thing or another. I'm going to be more in my head, but for some reason, just being alone does seem to be freeing, even though the issue is being in your head. I don't know.
I think it's the physical, being something physical
Yeah.
by yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and not having like to yes and anybody, not
Yes.
having anyone's trying to fix what your problem.
Right.
You just, it's presence.
Yeah.
It's forced. It's like, yeah, and then the breathing and the circulation and just moving. And to me, it's it's one of mine.
Oh, and there's no destination, and you're doing it at whatever pace you want. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not like trying to go faster or slower
Mm-hmm.
by someone else's thing or
Yeah.
answer questions or, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's like, oh, this this area is scary. I'm going to move along. Or, oh, look at this slug. I'm just going
Mhm.
to stare at it or whatever. Yeah.
And then what's your number 3?
Oof. Remind me of the prompt again.
Self-care.
Self-care.
I guess.
Oh, the gym. I had a student once say, like, hey, if I don't get to the gym every day, I'm just not the same person. I'm not as good of a person. And I stored that in my mind. I'm like, I aspire to be like you. I want to hit the gym every day. And it has done wonders. Oh, I love that physical, being in my body. So a lot of the need for self-care comes from me being in my head too much. So transferring that energy and focus to the body, going to the gym, being physical and sweating, that totally helps. So raga music on the floor, forest bathing, and going to the gym.
Okay.
What about you? Great list. Great prompt.
Thank you. Great list. My number 1, I think honestly my number 1 is for me it's break a sweat. So I guess it could be go to the gym, break a sweat alone.
Yeah.
For me. So it literally, cause like the other day I was, the other week I was feeling really terrible. And then I'm in this golf league and with our friend David, and he was not going to be there. And I was like, I could skip it. It was like 100 degrees out. Jeez. And I was like, am I really going to be that dude? And then I was that dude.
Yeah.
I drove, and it was so interesting because it was the perfect thing for me. It was the perfect thing. Because I have to drive. It's about a 30 to 45 minute drive to the golf course that we golf at.
Yeah.
And first you're like, because even like the people that I golf with, they're like, what? You drive all the way from Portland during rush hour to be here for this silly golf league? And I'm like, I like this course.
Yeah.
I like it. That's why. You know, like, yes, there's closer courses there, but I don't like them.
You get something out of this one. Yeah.
There is something to that drive. So my first one is like break a sweat. Go for a drive or a walk alone. Listen to music with no lyrics.
Oh, yeah.
That's important.
Yeah. What about lyrics that aren't in a language you know? Does that count?
Or that is like a whole other instrument. I love it.
Yeah, I love
totally.
that.
Like Japanese jazz. Like, I don't know what they're saying, or like, in another language, something that is just, So I guess it's like listen to music, break a sweat, and be alone.
Yeah.
Be alone with your thoughts. Truly be alone with your thoughts. And be physical in some capacity. These have been the most helpful things for me in this sobriety journey. I do just kind of feel like any of the, I'm still adding all that stuff, but any of the substances that I'm doing to replace are still just really not doing. I think it's all kind of unhealthy because I'm eating a lot more sugar and and I need to cut back on that, and then now it's just like, oh my god, I'm just transferring but like getting addicted to, like, I don't know, meditation and being alone with my thoughts. Off my phone. Get off my phone.
I'm starting to fall into that. I'm on there too much.
So with all that being said, have you ever had this happen? This happened to me today. I went to the gym and someone was on the elliptical that I wanted to use.
Yeah.
And I lost my mind.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I lost my mind. I was like, no,
I
did all
know.
the things and I can't go to the place I want to go. This is bullshit.
Just my timeline being disrupted. So how do you deal with it, though? That's what I need help on, is how do you move on and just not let it take over your thoughts and day?
Well, the big one is I had that thing that we were talking about before we were podcasting, is the turn. It's not a switch. It's a dial. Turn it down.
Yeah.
These thoughts are not switches. It's not about turning the thought off.
Oh, I love that.
It's about turning the thought down.
Yeah.
The volume, because it's not
so
saying that the thought is wrong.
Yeah.
The thought is not wrong. I like that elliptical because there is no TV in front of it.
Oh, brilliant.
It's the only, and I like the elliptical over the I know they're not, I don't know, there's fucking studies that are like, it's not good for you. It's like, well, it's making me break a sweat, and that's the drug that I'm trying to take right now, is break a sweat.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
I don't care. For me, it's about going to the gym, and I need the routine, and I couldn't do the routine. And it was like, and then I kind of spiraled because I was like, this is the thing to get me to not do the thing.
Yeah.
So you just have a backup. So before it happens again, just have a backup plan.
Nice
so
one.
I just did the rowing machine instead.
Nice.
Because there's that.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then maybe have a backup for the backup, you
Mhm.
know, or whatever. It's just like have a backup plan.
And one thing that helps with that is like think of it as a long
Plan the
term
backup plan.
plan the backup plan. But you're gonna
That's what a backup plan is.
plan the backup. Yeah, I guess it is.
Dumb. I'm so
The
stupid.
the arc of you going to the gym and using the elliptical, just because the elliptical doesn't happen that day, that's fine. But if you think longer term of I'm gonna go on the elliptical as much as I can when I come to the gym,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's less severe if like on Thursday I didn't get to use it because someone was on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I just sometimes it's like with some of the self-care stuff, you just have to watch it where it's just like, oh, I'm just replacing the behavior or whatever. But
yeah.
like, yeah, it is hard sometimes when you're just like, you like get mad, and it's like, what?
This is supposed to be helpful / fun.
Yeah, not like I need my thing. I'm like turning into a toddler, just throwing a huge temper tantrum in my head because really, like, you know what else works sometimes
What?
when I'm in those moments, especially if you're in the gym, because there's a lot of these options here.
Yeah.
Look at yourself in a mirror
Oh, really?
when you're
what does
having
that
all
do?
of those thoughts.
Yeah.
Just look at yourself, and you're like, who's that cool, calm, collect dude over there that looks like me?
Oh.
And you're like, oh my God, what's going on here is not going on here. I'm fine.
Interesting.
I'm fine. I'll be okay.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
Like, I don't know. For me, when I'm like, I'll catch my reflection and I'm just like, I don't know, like watch yourself cry. Have you ever done that?
If I have, it's been a long time.
If you're crying, go look in the mirror while you're
yeah.
crying.
I
then you're
don't
just like,
remember ever consciously.
be a man. No, I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah.
kidding.
Then you
be a
then
man.
press head firmly thrust head against mirror. Yeah.
No. That's
Interesting.
I don't know. Sometimes when I look at myself in the mirror, when I'm upset, I go, look at that cool dude. I don't know.
Oh.
You know, like he's fine.
Yeah, reframing
Look
the
at him.
narrative.
I'm gonna be okay. That's
Mhm.
it's like that. It gets me off that wheel, that hamster wheel of my own like spiral
Yeah.
of like, oh no, that's me.
Mhm.
This isn't me. That's me.
Yeah.
You are not your thoughts.
Yeah. We're
There it
waiting for
is.
the hamster wheel to go to off, but we have to jump off it.
You're
'cause it's
Todd. You're not your thoughts.
Yeah. The thoughts are there to protect, and they sometimes trick you. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's what it is when I look at myself, I realize that I am not my thoughts.
Yeah.
I am me, and me is me.
Me is me. Yeah.
And me is me.
I want to say that Black Sabbath Iron Man is a song about repositioning your focus from in your head to your physical being. I'm gonna
Spit a couple of those bars.
and I am Iron Man. And overthinking shit. Take a look at yourself. Get out of that head.
Get out of it.
Get out of it. Yeah.
Oh man, that was so fun. I
Yeah.
can't believe we just busted that out. But I
That was great.
appreciate you listening. I appreciate everybody else listening, and I also appreciate if you like and subscribe. Follow us on YouTube, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. We're gonna have new episodes every week, so this is cool.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, me too.
All right. Bye.
I tell you people, I'm on a different level. I heard 'em.
Adios, muchachos.